Pretty cool. So it is an aluminum coilover. These are the Kratos CR102s. We can see right here we've got some control arms. Let me turn on the halos real quick. Are eBay parts worth it? In my honest opinion, yeah, they're pretty cool. Hey guys, hope you're doing well. When it comes to buying parts for your car, chances are you're gonna see an eBay listing here or there, and some of the coolest parts come from eBay. Having parts from a variety of different websites and stores on my car, it's not always easy to tell what's worth it. So I always get asked when it comes to eBay parts if it's a good route to go. Now I personally think it is, but if you're on the fence about buying something, I got you. So the first thing to note is that small shops and individuals use eBay as a business. It's a lot easier for consumers to see their products. Granted, it's not to the level of exclusivity or anything, but it definitely streamlines the search. This is the sweet spot in my opinion, because this is usually where you'll find the most unique parts, like take my headlights for example. These aren't headlights that are being mass produced or super widely marketed. It's coming from a small shop that specializes in these things, and that definitely adds a unique factor to my car. Sometimes they can act as distributors for companies, or even just someone who has some knowledge on the realm, so they stockpile various parts here and there. These guys saved me a few times already just because occasionally they're actually pretty close to here. I am in Dallas, and sometimes they're just say like in Arlington or Austin. Usually you can get pretty good shipping times, so say you're in a time crunch, this is definitely the way to go. Then on the other hand, with small shops, you'll have salvage yards and junk yards. And this is where you can actually get some really good deals, because say you need something for the trunk. A junkyard or a salvage yard might have a vehicle that had a front end collision, and there's really not going to be anything wrong with like the middle to the back half of the vehicle, so you can actually save a ton of money just going that route as opposed to buying it directly from the vehicle manufacturer. Granted, I would stay away from structural pieces just because you never really know. They're also really good at noting any blemishes, imperfections, or damage there might be on a part, which is a really big plus. And then the third category would be dealers on eBay. For whatever reason, you still can't buy wheels directly from the manufacturer. Trust me, I've tried. I have way too many memories going to random wheel shops and just trying to find a set I like, just being limited to the actual wheels that they specifically carry. Yeah, that's not really ideal. You can pretty easily go on eBay and just type in the type of wheel that you're looking for, and chances are you'll find something. And a little underutilized tool that eBay actually has whenever you're buying wheels specifically is they actually have this really long list of filters and parameters for what you're looking for in your wheel. You can see right here it has diameter, width, bolt pattern, offset, finish, basically anything you're looking for. So what I personally like to do is just fill out the specs of what I'm looking for in a wheel, usually mainly just bolt pattern, sizing, and color, seeing what's on there and organizing it from low to high. Makes it pretty easy. The best thing is that there's not that call for pricing stuff, because I definitely don't want to be in the scenario where I call a dealer and I'm basically asking for pricing on wheels, finding out it's not really what I'm looking to spend, shooting them down, and then we basically both just wasted our time. Occasionally you will see this where it says like add to cart for pricing, but you can very easily just take it out. But I would still much rather do that option than calling somebody because, yeah, it's not my favorite thing to do. I just want to take a quick second to tell you about my partner for this video, Mint Mobile. You might know Mint as the one mobile network owned by Ryan Reynolds. One sec. Yeah, I'm talking to them right now. Yeah, we can get tacos. Here, let me call you back. You can join the nation's largest 5G network for as little as $15 a month. Switching is super easy and only takes about 15 minutes. They sell directly to you online, so you can switch from the comfort of your own home, or even better, without even getting out of bed. If you're interested, you can click the link in the description box down below, or you can also scan this QR code right here. All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk, text, plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. If you're interested in reliable coverage and fast data for a fraction of the cost, go to mintmobile.com/Dito to get started. Again, link is in the description, or you have the QR code right here. I want to give a big shout out to Mint. Now back to the video. Yeah, I'm back. Some notable parts on my car from eBay: the headlights minus the halos, the hood decals. These wheels I actually got from a dealer on eBay. And then the shark fin antenna is also from eBay, as is the spoiler and the tail lights. And if you do still have unanswered questions here or there, feel free to message the seller. That's definitely a big one for me. I've gotten to the point where I've even had just like casual conversation talking about vehicles. It's definitely there for your advantage, so please use it, because that will save you a ton of concern. Getting familiar with the seller can actually help you in the long run. Sometimes it helps to look at it as a collection of sellers rather than a collection of parts. Okay. Now that all that is set, next you want to get some perspective on the product. If whatever you're looking for is for maintenance or performance, chances are it's going to be from a relatively mainstream company, and in that scenario, the reputability of the product is going to be reliant on your familiarity with the company that makes it. So that's pretty easy to determine. If the product lines up more with customization, there's two things you really want to ask. One, can you get this product elsewhere? And two, does the pricing line up with competitors' similar products? Now, using the example of my headlights, you couldn't get them anywhere else, and the pricing was pretty relative to basic other competitors because you're upgrading from halogens to LEDs. In some situations, you can actually save a few bucks here as well, but just know at this point, getting what you pay for is probably in play. So while getting a super expensive unbranded turbo might be really cool for content purposes, reliability does become a factor here.
Tartar sauce.
Now, if you're looking at used parts, if you're buying from an individual, it is going to be a little bit more case by case, because it's very possible it's just someone that, you know, had this on their car, took it off, and they're just trying to make something out of it, so it's not a complete loss. But still, you can start some conversation with the seller and go from there. Now, when it comes to salvage yards and junk yards, again, they're really good at pointing out if there's anything wrong with the piece that they're selling. But one thing that I really like that they do is occasionally they'll have the part number in the title or the description. Because some parts for cars, they might go by multiple names, they might not have a really specific name, but if you can get that part number, you're golden, because you can put that in your search terms and it'll give you tons of sellers that are all selling the same part. I'd also recommend using the filter for used and turning off new, just to take off the items that have similar search terms, because it'll give you things that are related to, but not specifically what you're looking for if it's new. And the last thing to do is to keep eBay accountable. Let me draw you up a little scenario. Two people buy the same part. Let's say it's a hood, just for like demonstrational purposes. One person buys it from the manufacturer's website and the other person buys it through eBay. Whether it be the manufacturer's specific eBay account or a distributor, doesn't really matter. Thing is, they're buying it from eBay. So for whatever reason, the shipping company doesn't like either of them and both hoods arrive damaged. The person that bought it directly through the website is gonna have to deal with that same company's customer service and plead his own case, hoping that they honor the sale and basically go through a proper return or exchange. It would basically be his or her word versus theirs. The person that bought it through eBay, though, does have a middleman in eBay themselves, so he has a little bit of backup. Say the company isn't being super friendly, eBay can kind of come and middleman the situation, get everything sorted out, because again, the companies do have to have accountability to eBay. So in the scenario of buying it from the company's website, the accountability is gonna be a little misconstrued, whereas buying through eBay, the seller's accountability would go to both eBay and you, or possibly just one of those, which is still better than just you versus them. Now let's say for whatever situation, they both say you're sore out of luck and they are not gonna help you out, you're gonna stick with the damaged hood, and that's basically the end of that. I don't know about you guys, but if something like that were to happen to me, I would definitely want to put that information in that story out there in some form of review, mainly because I would not want someone else to go through that situation, especially if it was very unfortunate for me and I'm out however many dollars. If I can help someone avoid some heartache down the road, I definitely want to go that route. The thing is, if you're leaving the review for the company, it's not going to be as easily seen. It's usually easier to find if they have a physical structure, but say they don't and it's just an online website, that review can get lost pretty easily. Finding any form of negative review can be pretty in-depth of a process, because occasionally we'll go on websites and find that they have reviews just kind of popping up as like a little banner or something. But those are definitely curated, you know, they're gonna present themselves in the best possible light on their own website. So that's definitely pretty intentional in having those positive reviews basically being shoved at you. But on the other hand, do that's an eBay account, they're actually very easy to find, and on top of that, you can actually filter by positive, neutral, or negative reviews, and on top of that, their seller rating goes down. So again, the good companies will want to actually resolve these situations as opposed to letting them just kind of sit on their account. Of course, not saying any of these are gonna happen, just hypothetical situation and just a little bit to consider whenever you're actually looking at spending some money. There's definitely a lot of really awesome sellers on eBay and a lot of cool parts I haven't been able to find anywhere else. So if you are interested in something on eBay, definitely take the time to check it out, because your car deserves some love. But that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one.